This segment is sponsored by RVA Wealth Management.
How will the recent election impact the economy, and what does it mean for you? Joining us this morning to help answer some of those important questions is David Koren with RVA Wealth Management. Good to see you again, David.
Good morning, Bill. Good to see you as well.
All right, so every 4 years or so, we brace ourselves for a big change, and we've got one now. So is the election, it's over, and what should we expect from the market at this point?
Well, the good news is the election's over and we have a decision. Even though Trump is not conceded, we have a president-elect Biden, and that is good news for the market. The market does not like uncertainty, so they cheered that decision. Also, the Senate, although it's undecided, looks like it's going to go to a runoff. However, it does seem like we will continue to have divided government. And there was not a blue wave, with Republicans actually picking up some seats in the House. So with those types of things happening, the market is pretty encouraged. We believe that, bottom line, that we're not going to see huge changes to the tax code in the near term, be moderated to some degree, and the market's going to like that. We believe that spending is coming with new stimulus, as well as an infrastructure bill we think is also likely. And that's going to be good news for equities. And we can think that technology and healthcare are going to continue to lead the way. We do expect a slower recovery for many sectors like the energy and service sectors, because we're still dealing with the effect of the virus. And until we get a vaccine, those sectors are not going to take off. Although I know Pfizer had some very encouraging news here recently, and that's going to pick up the markets. And that's good news.
Yeah. All right. So something we haven't talked about in a long time, but you mentioned it the last time we talked, and we haven't talked about it a lot, is inflation. Are there still worries about that?
Well, once we get a vaccine, which I think hopefully is soon, we do expect the economy to really start to heat up. And then when it does, we expect inflation because of all of that money that's increased the money supply out there. We think inflation will come. So we believe, again, still that hedging with some gold and silver in your portfolio to diversify still makes sense. We also think that the bond markets are going to sort of stay steady until inflation does heat up. And once that happens, we think the bond markets will pull back as interest rates go up. But keep in mind, the Fed is not likely to intervene for quite some time, and they're going to let inflation run a little bit before we really do see any tightening. So we think that's all good news for equities.
You kind of touched on my next question a little bit. It looks like we probably are going to have a divided government, and the market likes that. And are we still thinking maybe there's going to be some tax changes, and how's that going to affect us?
Well, we are not anticipating major tax changes, although there will be some tax modifications around the edges. But I think because now we have a more moderate House and actually in some ways a more moderate Senate, I think both of those things will lead to changes, but not huge changes that's going to hurt us. So what we're doing is we're advising clients right now to take advantage of this low tax environment that we're in for capital gains purposes, to do Roth conversions and things of that nature. We're also encouraging clients to take advantage of things like qualified charitable distributions, donor advised funds, and tax credits. We especially like state tax credit programs like the Education Improvement Scholarship Tax Credit that's available through schools that service small, lower income individuals like All Saints Catholic School and many others out there. These tax credit programs really do allow folks to stretch their charitable giving dollar a great deal. There's many of them out there. And those are ways to save on taxes. We're not expecting big tax increases in the near term, not at least for the next 2 years.
All right. Some interesting and informative information there, David. Always good to talk to you. I feel like we learned a little bit this morning.
Good, Bill. Well, I appreciate being here, and thanks for having me.
You bet. For more information about RVA Wealth Management, visit them online at rvawealthmanagement.com, or you can give them a call, 804-497-2100. Please stay tuned. Virginia This Morning is going to return after a quick break.